I thought it would be great for us to have a discussion here on YouTube so that you can tell your side of the story. Obviously, a lot of people are weighing in with their thoughts, but I do think that it would be good for you to at least express yourself and about what happened.
So another day, and we've got more Martin Kabrhel news. Doug Polk fired up a stream last night and had some guests on to go over the whole situation. Tom Dwan and Thomas Wheaton both made appearances, and on top of that, Doug just today had Martin Kabrhel on for a live interview to tell his side of the story. So let's get right into it. Tom Dwan stated that he does not have 100% trust in the WSOP.
Confiscate chips, all that kind of stuff. You need legitimate, innocent until proven guilty type proof to kick out of an event.
Well,
but
on that note, Nevada Gaming is probably the preeminent gaming body in the world. This was one of the biggest ever buy-in poker tournaments in the world. I hope Nevada Gaming oversees this. I don't 100% trust the World Series here. I'm getting closer to 100% if you start involving Caesars Corporate, Caesars Interactive, etc. You know, getting real close to 100% if Nevada Gaming starts overseeing stuff. That should happen.
Why do you not trust the World Series of Poker here?
No comment. You know, we can text after.
He then later shared an experience of his own, as well as what he thinks should happen with this investigation.
It is interesting when you think about
I'll share one story with the series before, which is I forget what it was, but something weird happened, and I asked them to save the cards, and then there was some excuse, and this is like 10 years ago, you know. And there's a bunch of random. There was also a tournament when I had bracelet bets, and there were like 15 people left or 13 people left, and the dealer was dealing the cards a little high, and I remember complaining, and they just said no, the hand's gonna play anyway. And then because it was me and I'm a pretty known poker player, the floor came over and they dealt a new hand, right, or dealt new cards or whatever. But a lot of times this kind of shit can get swept under the rug, and I don't think that means that the series is bad or anything like that, but my point is this one's a bit egregious. It should get looked at. Whatever happens, whatever comes out, even if something did happen and they miss it, or something didn't happen or whatever, it should just get looked at by a pretty unbiased body or two.
Yeah, definitely a reasonable take there.
So clearly Tom has had at least one bad experience with the WSOP, but like he said, that doesn't inherently make the WSOP bad. I agree with him. A third-party company should come in and take a look at everything to rule out any kind of cheating. Also, like he said, Martin's actions, whether intentional or unintentional, were outright egregious. I'm extremely surprised play wasn't halted to clear up the murky waters that have now been left behind. But since play wasn't halted, we have some more to talk about. Later on in the stream, Doug brought on Tom Wheaton, who is the founder and CEO of Faded Spade, the card company used widely across the world, but most notably in every WPT event. Tom and Doug discussed what could have been going on at the table if the cards were marked, and how the players could have missed these markings.
Because what can happen is, even if it's not like a nail mark in the middle of the card, you can indent the core. So at different angles based on lighting, you can see that indent.
Reddit user Randy Biscuits posted a great example video of how the markings can only be seen at certain angles with certain lighting. Later on, Doug asked Tom point blank whether he thought Martin cheated or not. Here's what he had to say.
What do you think?
If he's truly doing it as a tactic to frustrate people or annoy people, if he's doing that because it's something this guy has a behavior of doing in the past and maybe wasn't getting away with it with an RFID card because they're thicker. Honestly, Doug, like, I don't know. All I can know is that all I can say from a professional opinion, like, the behaviors that were being exhibited are literally the things that most card companies will try and guard against and use during QA to make sure that cards are not easily markable.
So again, whether Martin cheated or not, according to the founder of one of the largest playing cards companies in the world, Martin was exhibiting all the behaviors of a card marker. Now, was he intentionally doing this? Let's hear what Martin had to say.
I was not trying to, now, by the way, now it's good that now allegations is that I'm not cheater anymore. That's good news. Probably it's shifting. Now it's that I am trying to look like a cheater. That's golden. I don't have even like normal words for that, but it's that. So I'm clarifying. I was not trying to look like a cheater and make people uncomfortable. I think it would be crazy, stupid, and I didn't do that. That's it.
It took a total of 9 minutes and 3 seconds for him to clearly state that. Before that, Doug had to ask the question in 3 different ways. Was this due to a language barrier? Him being nervous? I'm honestly not sure. He also later stated that he had no clue anyone thought he could possibly be cheating, nor that the no standing rule was implemented because of him. I encourage you to go watch both of Doug's live streams for full context. This continues to look more and more like we will never know the definitive truth of this story, but usually those are the kind of stories we talk about the most as time passes. That's all I got for you to stay up to date. Make sure you follow.